Hey guys, this is the Lovin Dubai show. It's Thursday morning. We kicked off the show with the sad news of Liam Payne's death. We spoke about the Victoria's Secret fashion show and the Emirati TikToker who's received alarming threats, and this is his response.
The death threats were very, very strange, and it's very strange to see an Emirati TikToker be confused for a Bahraini, and he has nothing to do with football either, so that was really strange. And obviously, our thoughts and prayers go out to Liam Payne and his family at this tragic time. We'd really love if you can subscribe to the Lovin Dubai Show podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. Enjoy the show.
Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. At the top breaking news today, Dubai mourns the tragic death of Liam Payne.
The Burj Khalifa lights up for Lebanon.
An Emirati TikToker addressed alarming death threats received following a football match.
And Global Village is now open and the hype is real.
And later on in the show, we're going to be joined by Juwayria talking Moroccan moms, men's podcast, and moving to Dubai. We're so excited to have her on the show. But before we get to all of that, a quick update regarding JITEX traffic brought to you by the RTA. So please follow the RTA on X to get the latest updates, but we'll try and deliver them to you in a timely fashion every single morning. If you can, park at Al Wasl Club or Zabil Dubai Mall to catch the free shuttle buses.
And you should definitely use the metro. This is like a really, really big tip that they have for you guys. It's gonna like save you so much time parking and traveling and all that stuff.
There's also a fleet of taxis specifically for JITEX Global Event 2024. Yes, there is specifically for you attendees, so make sure you can catch those as well.
And make sure you cooperate with authorities for a hassle-free commute. It'll save you so much time.
All of the updates directly from RTA. They're using AI to control and monitor the traffic this week. So do stay following them, as we said, on social media. Good morning to everyone tuning in. Good morning, Farah. Thank you for tuning in.
Joining the show.
Joining the show.
Joining the show.
Jumping in for Farah B, who's unwell today. All good?
Yeah, all good.
So, before we jump into our top stories, this international story, every year there is a show. It's an international story, the Victoria's Secret Fashion Show 2024, back after a 6-year hiatus. 6-year hiatus because when they cancelled it after 6 years ago, they said, the public court of opinion said there isn't diversity, there isn't inclusion, basically cancelling the show despite the massive media fanfare it got every year. And they've kind of come back and said, we're listening, here's our new show. What do you think?
I mean, I honestly understand that like it took them they got to that level. Okay, sure. I mean, they tried to implement the changes and everything, but it didn't seem to sit very well with the public, despite the effort that they may have put in to create a different show and like have more inclusions and diversity in the models and everything. I don't think it sat well with everyone still.
Yeah, I don't like, it's a fanfare, it's something pretty to look at, but when I looked at it this time, I kind of felt like they tried so hard to fit the diversity and the inclusion boxes, but you kind of like, as a public, I think we're over the big names so much. It's like, I feel like they're like tick, 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 big name, size, race, ethnicity, tick, tick, tick. But like, when I just looked at the bodies, they all looked like so, it just didn't feel a comfortable body, you know? Like big or small, they were like, show me flab, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I want to see. And I think that they tried so hard to go down the line of we're ticking what you've said that they don't actually look like, what do we really want to see? I'd love to see a normal, comfortable body, a little bit of cellulite, and also I didn't love the underwear.
No?
No,
I mean, I honestly always just love looking at the show. I mean, it's really, really nice to look at and like, imagine yourself maybe doing a little catwalk.
Yeah.
But like, it looked really cool to look at. But yeah, I do agree. I feel like they had like some sort of like checklist where they were like, okay, we're gonna get a person that looks like this, a person that looks like this, and as if that would make it more inclusive. But I just feel like they missed that mark a little bit.
I do too, and I think that's the public court of opinion response to that. Let's jump in to the top story of the day. Such unbelievably sad news to wake up to this morning. The death of Liam Payne, a former member of One Direction. He passed away after falling from the 3rd floor of a hotel in Buenos Aires, according to the police there.
He was just 31 years old. He had been traveling with his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy, who, however, she had left South America 2 days before, and she was in Miami at the time of his death.
So you may or may not have seen Liam while he was in Dubai. He'd visited multiple times. He actually holds a record for one of the best attended gigs at Global Village. And there's actually a really sweet video of Chris Fade, who shared it this morning from 2023, when he's in Dubai ahead of his gig and he had no idea that, he even had fans here. And he was nervous. He was like pushing his food around his plate before his gig. Could you imagine? He was feeling anxious, and then he was absolutely blown away by the Dubai audience because it was just a record attendance down at Global Village. But it's just, One Direction fans out there. I watched this show religiously when I was younger, and the origins of the band is so interesting. Like single. Individual performers brought together by Simon Cowell. He manufactured one of the greatest boy bands of all time. And there's one video, and it's his mom talking in one of the documentaries, being like, I miss him so much, like Fame, because he's just never here. And it's just his whole story has been documented, and it's just so sad that his life took a turn. And
definitely
just super sad.
And he was so young too. Like no one ever expected to wake up this morning, look at their phone, and see that kind of news. When I woke up this morning and I saw it, I was like, no, surely this isn't true. And then I scrolled one more swipe onto the next story, and I saw it again, and I was like, there's no way. There's no way. Like it's so unexpected, and I'm like so certain that the Dubai audience especially are feeling like really like hurt by this, and One Direction fans especially as well. Like they probably feel like, whoa, like we lost someone, even though like the band like fizzled out like for a couple of years already, but like it's still such a big thing to see.
Their fame was monumental.
It was, and
I think
played
it
such a big role.
is.
Yeah, and it played such a big role, like in a lot of people's lives. Like I had friends that were so obsessed with One Direction as a group, and even when they went solo and stuff, like they still had such a big following. So it's incredibly tragic. Like the deaths of this year were actually really like major.
Yeah, I agree. Our thoughts and prayers are just with his family. We can't even imagine what they're going through at this time. And there'll be rumors and there'll be talk on social media, but let's just give the rather than kind of going in deep diving into them, let's just give the family the privacy they deserve, I think, at this horrific time. 8:40. Let's jump in to our next story. So the Burj Khalifa lights up for Lebanon. The UAE is standing firmly with Lebanon during its humanitarian challenges, showcasing its commitment to supporting the Lebanese people. So this weekend, there are 2 more donation drives happening that you can take part in.
The next collection at DEC Expo City will take place on Sunday, October 20th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. while in Sharjah, the Expo Center will host an Eid collection on Saturday, October 19, 2024 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Now, this is part of the ongoing national relief campaign UAE Stands with Lebanon, launched under the guidance of President His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and to coincide with that iconic structures, including the Burj Khalifa, Mubadala Tower, and Adnoc Building, among others, lit up in an important display of unity. And I think it's, I think it's an important thing to do to highlight the UAE's stance. I think it's, there's a large population of Lebanese people here. We've spoken about it on the show, who can't even imagine what they're going through.
It's a lot.
It's every day, and especially as in Dubai, we're going on with our lives, and like everyone is keenly aware. However, life is still continuing, and it's an impossible, but it's also the reality of life continuing while this atrocious thing is happening. And I think continuous messages of support, along with the donations that are happening at the weekend, these types of stories continuing to be shared means something.
Of course, especially for the Lebanese community here, like there's such a big population of Lebanese nationals in the UAE, and I think they really, really appreciate that the UAE is like showing their solidarity and their support for Lebanon by hosting these drives and this campaign, especially like it means so much, and it came at such an important time for them, and being part of it, being part of the community, going and helping and joining the donation drives, I feel like it helps them feel like they can actually make a difference and can help. You don't have to be Lebanese to go, but you know, if you want to, I think you just have to register. There's a specific website, and then you just go and help, and it'll maybe give you a little bit of peace and a little bit of like, you know, something to make you feel like you are making a difference.
True, and I think it was to the tune of like 110 million dirhams donated just in the weekend past. So if you missed it and you saw the videos of kind of everyone getting together, you can do that this weekend in Dubai and Sharjah. Big crowds last weekend, big crowds last night, yesterday at Global Village.
Yeah, the season is upon us again. Global Village is now open and the hype is real. So summer has come and gone, and that means residents and tourists are getting excited for more outdoor activities, particularly Global Village, everyone's favorite cultural hub / outdoor mall, with goodies from all around the world again. It's open yesterday with massive crowds. Videos were being shared all over social media showing the amount of visitors that showed up to Global Village's opening day. There was confetti, there were performances and massive celebrations. Dubai is just such a different vibe during the winter months.
True. It's people just like Global Village, no matter how long you've been here, has a space in people's hearts.
Definitely.
It's so funny because we have Dubai is just non-stop with theme parks and destinations for you to visit with your family, right? Global Village, its mainstay, I think, is it 29 years? I think this is its 29th year, so next year it'll be 3 decades. I could be wrong on that. Doesn't matter. Returning attendees every year, and it's very hard to find that loyalty in Dubai, but Global Village has it.
Yeah, 100%. Like Global Village is such an iconic part of Dubai, and if you're here during the winter time when it's open, not winter, but like kind of winter, if you're here during that season and you get to go to Global Village, you get to see like what Dubai is really about, and it's such a melting pot, and it kind of like combines it into one big thing, which is Global Village.
So true.
And you get to try different foods from around the world, and you get to see their culture a little bit. It's obviously not 100%, but you get to at least like witness it a little bit. And I feel like that's what's really special. So it's open and there's so many crowds and stuff, and it looks really, really good yesterday. If you got to see the videos,
it was packed out. And yeah, interesting just to see so many people there on the first day. Now, if you missed that news, or if you miss any news and you hate social media, we're going to take a quick break to let you know about the Lovin Dubai newsletter, which has had a major refresh. So if you shun social media, but you would still like your daily dose of news fresh into your inbox every day, you can subscribe to the Lovin Dubai newsletter.
You'll find the sign-up link in our link in bio on Instagram. And if I do say so myself, I really like the newsletter, so I think you should take a look.
5 p.m. every day. So do I, because sometimes I actually try to not be on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like,
we get it.
Because you get into that deep dive, but then I'm like, where do I get news? So, you know, when news has broken over the last little while, I jump onto Instagram straight away, because you either go to like one news app that you pay for, but I'm not going to pay for that many of them. And then, okay, so I'll go to Instagram, but then I feel like I'm not always getting the full story. We're talking about international news here. So if you ever want but you don't want to deep dive onto Instagram for that, you can get all of the news into your inbox.
100%. All right, let's jump into this story. This one's a little bit of a doozy, but like we'll try to make it as simple as possible. But basically, an Emirati TikToker addressed the alarming threats he received following a football match. So Emirati TikToker Ibrahim Abbas recently opened up about receiving death threats and hateful messages from football fans after they mistakenly identified him as Bahraini. The incident unfolded following the FIFA World Cup qualifiers match between Bahrain and Indonesia, where tensions ran high. Ibrahim shared that over 2,000 gruesome messages requests flooded his inbox as angry fans accused him of being involved in the controversy surrounding the match. The fans believed that the referee had unfairly extended the game to favor Bahrain, leading to an outpour of rage.
So confused. However, Ibrahim clarified that he had no prior knowledge of the match and expressed deep disappointment over the intense hatred directed at him. My confusion on the story is, why did they think he was involved?
So there was like a name thing. So because of his name, they thought that he was Bahraini and he had something to do with like his name. Someone on the team, the Bahraini team, they share the same name. So for some reason, they thought that they were the same person. I spoke to him last night about this actually. And he was like, the theory goes that people thought that he was associated with the football team in Bahrain and that's why he was receiving so many messages. But it could have been also something else. But that was like his main theory. Yeah.
Never a troll, but if you're going to troll the right person.
Imagine.
You know what I mean? He emphasised how unacceptable and heartbreaking it was to see such hostility between fellow Muslims. His post garnered widespread support and commenters offering words of sympathy and condemning the hate that he had unjustly received. So you were speaking to him about him last night. Is he okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's okay. Like he's obviously used to this being on social media for so long. Like he's been doing so much, but he's receiving it on email. He's receiving it on TikTok, Instagram. Like he's receiving it everywhere. So he's a little bit like in shock and. But he is taking it well because he understands that there was some sort of confusion there. But he's never spoken about football online. So to get so many like hateful messages and stuff like that, like he was a little bit in shock.
Yeah, what an interesting position to be in. Because there's one thing, it's like, okay, so I was involved and whatever this scenario might be, but to just to feel the onslaught of hate. But it not be you. I guess there's a little bit of a safety net there because he knows it's not him.
He knows it's not him, but at the same time, it's like, oof, that's a lot of hate.
What needs to happen to control people's behaviors online? Like we always discuss, whenever we have people on the show, we're like, do you get hate? And then, they say constantly. And I've never spoken to someone who's admitted to being a troll. I've spoken to people who admit, riling up Facebook comments, but never like directing hate at someone.
Yeah, no, that took it to a whole other level. Like he said he received very alarming messages and like they're actually a little bit like scary and stuff. Won't go too much into it, but like, yeah, they were a little bit weird. But I didn't even know how like what to say. I didn't know what to tell him. I was like, stay safe, man. Because I don't know what to say. Because I don't like. What do you do in this situation? Like, who do you talk to?
Well, I would do exactly what he did, which was post a story, being like,
clarify,
post a video, clarifying, be like, it's not me.
Mm-hmm. And like,
I don't know anything about this football that you talk. You know what I mean?
And like, he's not even Bahraini, guys. Like that was so out of touch. I don't know.
Exactly. So I hope anyone who was trolling him got the message. And if you know anyone who was trolling him and you got the message and you realize that you're wrong, you know what would go a long way? An apology. Like 2 or 3 nice apologies, being like, look, so sorry, I got the wrong person, would go a long way, I have no doubt. So, Ibrahim, we're with you. Let's move on to some internet positivity. We're so excited to welcome our next guest on the show. You may recognize her from TikTok. Juwayria talks Moroccan Mums men's podcast and moving to Dubai. Good morning, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guest is the one and only Juju, a content creator known for her spot-on portrayals of Moroccan moms and North African culture. Living in the UK but now based in the UAE, we are so excited to welcome her on the show. Welcome to the Lovin Dubai show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Of course, we're excited to get into it and find out more about your auntie persona of Morocco. We love that. So we've seen you quite a bit and you're really, your videos are so funny. First of all, let's just preface that. But what inspired you to create the Moroccan auntie/mom persona?
So I feel like the funniest people in life are the people with the most trauma. I feel like this is just a given. And there was no one in the space when I started at the time that does what I do, which is portraying what it's like growing up in like a Arab North African family. We have so much craziness that goes on. So one day I was just sitting down and I decided to pull up my phone, make a video, and it went super viral. And I was like, oh, hey, people kind of like this. So I just kept doing it again and again. And sometimes when I lose inspiration, I just literally go on Instagram quickly and say, guys, what's a funny thing that's happened to you that your mum did? And then I'll get suggestions and then set the camera up, film it again.
So there was like it was just one moment and it happened at home. Were you nervous posting it? Did your mom like kill you?
No, so funny enough, I don't script any of my videos. Like I'm a one take. Even if there's bloopers, I'll just edit them out. Like if you see the behind the scenes, like the bloopers is just me staring at the floor like this, like trying to come up with something to say. And what's even funnier is it's not based on my own mum, because my mum's quite British. She's quite like just like me. It's based on most of my friends' mums growing up, what I've seen, as well as my grandma's generation, that generation. So my mum, she finds it absolutely hilarious. Sometimes you'll find it in the comments like, this one is actually me. And I'm like, yeah, so I get a lot of support from my family.
Yeah, normally you would think you would get the inspiration from like your mother or something like that. Like that's what I would have assumed. But that's actually really funny that you get it from other people. But what's the funniest thing you've heard from an auntie growing up?
I don't really know. I can't put my finger on anything. To be honest, they say a whole lot of stuff, like from WhatsApp things like, oh, this is going to cure your disease. Put honey with apple cider vinegar and don't go to the doctor. Those kind of things I find absolutely hilarious. And I look at them and I think, oh, who gave you access to the internet? Like, take it away from them right now. But I don't have like anything I can put my finger on.
So speaking of giving people access to the internet, right before you came on, we were discussing trolls,
yes,
and online hate. Like, have you gotten that? How do you respond to it?
All of it. I've had it all. So I've been doing social media since, I think, 2018 now. So I don't know how many years that is. I can't do quick maths in my head. I think 6 years. Yeah, 6 years now.
That's why we're in media. We don't do that.
Like, I don't know. 6 years now. So I think the first year I cared a little bit. Second year I cared a little bit less. Now I'm just like, at the end of the day, even the best people who have ever walked this planet, like our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he had people who didn't like him. So who am I to have people who don't like me? You know, there's people on the internet that will say a bunch of hate, but the people who will say the positivity outweigh them. And it's important to not look and focus and hyper-focus on the negativity, instead to see all the greatness and all the positivity that's coming from it. That's what I like to do.
Do you remember the first video that put you on the map?
Yes, and it wasn't my own, it wasn't like this style of content. So it was actually, me and my sisters used to do YouTube under a channel called Just the Hijabis, and I did an accent challenge, and I did a challenge of just doing like mocking like little bigots from the UK, and it went super viral. Like, it's still going viral now on Twitter, and that kind of like put my foot forward into like the social media kind of stuff. And then one day I was sitting with a management agency and they were like, you need to get on this TikTok app. This is in like 2020. You need to get on this TikTok. I was like, I'm not doing Musical.ly, dancing. I'm not doing that. And then I did literally one video, and it was using a sound of Catherine Tate. You know, Catherine Tate, and it went viral again. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm made for this. This is a bit of me. Yeah, so.
What was the Catherine Tate sound? She's a UK comedian, right?
Yeah, she's a UK comedian. It was something like, so the teacher was asking her something in French, and then she was like, say it in English, and then she's like, but this is a French class. She goes, but I'm English. And then so that, and people really liked it because of my accent challenge I'd done before. It was on brand for me, so yeah. But then I shifted my content completely that random day that I just decided to make that video, because my thing is, I do skits across the whole board. I don't just do Moroccan mum. I do like the builder, the dentist, the NHS nurse, and all this stuff I do across the board. But the Moroccan mum is definitely the people's favorite, so yeah.
It's definitely one of my favorites, honestly. Like, it's also kind of relatable. Like, I'm not Moroccan, I'm Egyptian, but like I relate to it so much.
I relate to it too.
You know what?
I can be from anywhere.
I think when people have children, they just all get this handbook like installed in their brain, and then they're all the same. Like, people are like, who's my biggest inspiration behind the videos? It's me in the future. Like, it's in me. It's somewhere there in the back. It just hasn't come to the front yet. So I think we all have similar upbringings, and that's the beauty in the kind of responses that I get from my videos. Is people from all around the world are like, this is my Mexican mom, this is my English mom, this is my French mom. I'm like, oh, we're all the same. So
literally, you don't have to be Moroccan to relate to it at all.
No.
Where do you want to take it? You know, because you're huge on TikTok, and you obviously have this amazing eye to pick out, like, you don't like to find those like teeny tiny relatable things that everyone's like, yes, that's me. It doesn't matter if it's like Irish, Moroccan, French, Algerian, like people just relate. So, like, do you want to put that on a stage, or like, where do you want to take it?
Yeah, I would love to. My dream is to have like the Catherine Tate show. So Catherine Tate is a UK actress, and she started off with her own show where she did live and non-live, and she would play different characters and bring them to life, and all of them were so different. Like there's the I'm above it, that's one of them. So she's like a big inspiration. There's also, I think her name is Madam Joyce. She also has something similar. So I'd love to have my own show like that, and also like have segments where I'm doing skits, but then also have segments where I'm interviewing people and stuff like that. To be honest, I'm a bit of a crazy person, but I want to do so many different things. So that's why I haven't done anything yet, because there's so much different avenues that I'd like to explore. So
I mean, humble, haven't done anything yet.
No, not really. Apart from I've stopped at social media, but that is one of the reasons why I came to Dubai, because I felt like in the UK my social media just kind of like stopped, and I didn't have as much opportunities to go to the next level. So I was like, I need to change the environment so then I can be more motivated to do more.
So your move here was entirely for your career?
Yeah, 100%. And for safety reasons, and because
right.
obviously I wear hijab, and, you know, I'm an ethnic minority in the UK. So for me, coming here to a country that's so welcoming to expats was just amazing for me. Dubai was actually the first place I ever felt like home, because being from two nations, being British and growing up with completely British values, and then being culturally Moroccan, and my blood is Moroccan, and both when I go to Morocco, I'm British. When I go to England, I'm Moroccan. Whereas when I came to Dubai, like most people here are expats, so you just blend in so easily. Like everybody's on a journey. Everybody comes from like 2 or 3 backgrounds. So it was the first place I actually felt like, oh wow, I'm not an outsider, I fit in. So yeah.
So true. However, I know that we're super welcoming people. People are welcoming. Is the TikTok scene welcoming? Because like so many creators also have moved to Dubai, and I wonder, is it like a bit competitive behind the scenes, or have you found like content creators want to work together and make content?
I feel like it is what you make of it, and it like when, for example, for me, there is a lot of content creators that want to collab, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it, and like sometimes we do it, and other times our times clash. But for people who don't want to do that, or like we call them the gatekeepers, I'm just like, that's a reflection on themselves. And you kind of need to take that rejection and put it somewhere else. There will be someone out there who is willing to collab, someone out there who's willing to help. And also, as long as you stay true to yourself and you know what you want to get out of the like social media scene, you will work 10 times harder if you are ostracized or you're not helped. So for me, somewhere like Dubai, where it's so easy to network, like you could be sitting down in a coffee shop and you're right next to the CEO of the biggest company in the Middle East, and it's so easy here to kind of know people who know people who know people. So for me, it's not really a struggle. There's more than enough of pieces of the pie to go around for everybody.
Magic time to be in Dubai, I would say.
Yeah, I agree, to be honest. One of your segments on like your TikTok account is the Man's Podcast.
Oh my God.
That was a really good one, if I do say so myself. So like, what's the wildest thing you heard on a Man's Podcast? There's a lot.
There's too much. I think, but the thing is, it's what's funny, before I say the wildest thing, is only when I came here, I realized it's abnormal behavior, because it's only like exclusively in the UK, in the US, that these men are on these podcasts, because the men in this side of the world, they're not on the podcast talking about women. They're on a podcast talking about other things that are important. So I think the wildest thing is women shouldn't work and shouldn't study, because then you're in an environment with men and testosterone and stuff like that, which actually contradicts Islam, because in Islam, the first women, the Prophet ﷺ's family, wives, friends, all were working women. They were all given into society. So that's definitely the stupidest thing I've heard. So I'm just like, but the same time, when they go to the doctor, they take their wives to see the doctor. They want the doctor to be female.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense, yeah. Because, you know, the whole thing is that, like, traditionally Western would say, you know, it's conservative over here, but yet those ideas are springing up there. I don't know much about these podcasts. Like, how common are they? Are they mainstream?
Very common in the UK. Mainstream, I wouldn't say, but they're very popular. You know what? I feel like a lot of people nowadays say things to go viral. They say controversial things on purpose because they just care about the views. And they just, you know, birds of a feather flock together. So their kind of audience are the negative, the haters, the trolls on the internet. They give into that kind of content. They love it. They love hatred. They love bigotry, and they love, you know, sexism. They love it. So that's why they're given a platform. And unfortunately, the more bad noise you make, the more people are going to hear you. Whereas people that are doing good, the people that are making a positive change, they're not necessarily given the platform to speak or being heard, because trolls like to troll. This is the truth.
It's interesting, you see some of the posts that we share and the amount of comments you'll get on one versus another, and like the lesser engaging posts sometimes are actually much more powerful, much more impactful, might help people, might be positive, but you get the negative comments on like the lesser posts, and it's a shame. Yeah. However, quick question, have you seen Love is Blind?
Yeah, of course.
Love is Blind Habibi?
Oh, Love is Blind. I don't know why my brain said, I thought you said Lovin. I don't know. Sorry guys, too early for me. Love is Blind, no. I haven't watched Love is Blind Habibi because I'm waiting until the hype is over. I like to watch things after everybody's had an opinion, because I like my own opinion, and I don't want to be like watching the show and then scrolling on TikTok and then be like, oh yeah, actually, let me rewatch that scene. I want everyone's opinion to leave, and then I come up with my own. However, I've seen scenes on TikTok like going viral, and I've heard stuff like my friends, I'll hear them talking about it and I'll just be like, okay.
I wanted your thoughts on the Moroccan guy, because he gets a lot of
backlash.
He gets a lot of backlash. But I always think, like, towards the end, and the woman gets a lot of backlash as well. But but have you seen the clips of him and how?
Yeah, I've heard. Sorry, my nose. I've heard like that he's quite controlling, people would say, and he said something like, you know, my woman needs to stay at home and all this stuff. But I feel like when it comes down to relationships, I feel like it's really dangerous to have an opinion on what someone is looking for in a partner, because everyone's different. There's going to be a girl out there who is going to hear that and be like, wow, that's exactly what I want to be at home. And then there's going to be other women out there who's going to be like, no, how could he say that? That's so controlling. So for me, I'm like, if that's what he wants, give the guy what he wants. He's clearly looking for something, and he's come onto a show, and he does have his very strong cultural, you know, beliefs and his ways, which is very common within the North African and Arab society, to have these very, you know, I'm looking for a housewife, I'm looking for I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, yeah, like a housewife figure instead of like a working woman. A lot of Arab North African men have this, and
stay-at-home mom.
Yes, that's it, stay at home, and their marriages work out. Like their marriages are thriving. So who are we to judge?
Teach
really?
their own, really.
Exactly.
I mean, if it works out, works out.
Exactly.
What did I want to ask? I wanted to ask something about the UK versus Dubai. Oh, the audience. Do you think the audience there versus here, are they different or are they same?
I think a little bit. Like here, I find I have had a little bit of a culture clash when it comes to content creation, because I feel like the content creation here and what people like to see is so much more different to the content in the UK. In the UK, we're very sarcastic, our jokes are quite dark, and we're quite like, we'll cuss you out and you'll find it funny. Here, it's like, no, it's different. It's way different. Here, it's like more, I don't want to say cringy, because that's not a nice word to use, but it's more like childish, it's more like fun and like creative. So I have had like a little bit of a culture clash. I'm like, oh, okay, clearly this is not what people like to see here. But then when I've had like conversations with my manager and with many like people, and they're like, just don't change your content, because there's people that are looking for that content here. So apart from that, it was kind of the same, to be honest. The support is the same, and across the board it's the same. It's just the kind of style of the content and what people like to see is quite different. I will say that.
I would agree that I think we're a safer audience, which actually works in our favor as creators, I would say.
Yeah.
Before you leave us, we have a little game we'd like to play. We want to play a game called Arab Mom Reacts, Moroccan Mom Reacts.
Okay.
And we've got some scenarios here, so we can read them out. Or would you like to read them out? You read them out. Okay, and then we'll get your reaction.
Okay.
As a mom.
Okay.
All right.
Go into character mode.
So yeah, channel that. Okay, so my aunt caught me going into my boyfriend's car.
You are going to a boy's car. Why you don't have your own car? You know what? I'm gonna talk to your mom. It's disgusting, this behavior. It's not like girls. This is not cute. This is not demure. This is disgusting.
Oh my god, I totally related to that.
I want to do one. I feel like I'm getting in trouble here if I read it out. I don't feel
It's
like
alright,
if I
don't
get in
worry.
trouble. Oh, okay, interesting. I went 50-50 with my boyfriend.
First of all, why you have boyfriend? You need a husband, okay? Boyfriend, he will waste your time, he will take your energy, he will use you. You know, boys, they're not too much clever, yeah? The girls, they know this, the girls is gonna love them, so they don't put in the effort. You need to be the wife, first of all. And second of all, is 50-50. I don't understand it. Me, I don't know. Because the man, he doesn't have a womb to have the baby 50-50, so you don't have it the same pocket as him. He has one job and you have another job. This is it, simple. If you want to be stupid, then you can go and do that, but it's not clever. I tell you now.
Moroccan auntie has advice.
Wise auntie, wise auntie. Let's do one more.
All right. Ooh, spicy. I was caught using Tinder dating app.
You know what, Binti? Even I don't like this one, yeah? But nowadays, what you can do? Where you gonna meet the people? You know, is a Tinder, is a Minda, is the same. You know, as long as you have your filter on, okay. Because even online is better than go in the street and talk to the men. You know, I don't judge in this one. This is okay as long as you look for a marriage. You want to do boyfriend and girlfriend? Haram, not allowed. No. But it's okay.
Auntie, what filter should I have on Tinder?
You know, you can put like a 6'4" guy with a good job, with a nice family, you know? Something like this. Don't look for like the guy, he's just like, you know, is useless, you know? He's gonna look at you, look at me. You know, there's a saying in Moroccan, we say, شوفي نشوفك طاجن الحوت. Like, you know, tagine of the food. You know, sometimes we have a fish tagine and the fishes are looking at each other. So we call it look at me, look at you, like a tagine of hoot, like a tagine of fish. Yeah, what are you going to do with the man? You can't just look at him, he's going to look at you. He has to have something, you know.
Has to be the provider.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's funny, we're sitting in the studio, but I'd have this vision of you sitting in this couch and we're all coming forward with our partners and you're just being like, no. And I have to walk away if Farah comes.
Yeah, literally, no, move. How to now?
Oh, Juju, first of all, welcome to Dubai. You've been here a year.
Thank you.
It's been a long time coming to have you on the show, so thank you so much for joining this morning. It was such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me. It was so exciting.
And that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you, Farah.
Thank you.
And we'll be back here tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Bye-bye.
Yay!
Oh, that was so fun.